Yeah, do you know? I think it's always been a good place for a good community feel. It's always had that kind of good feel. I guess over the years, different communities come in, more houses get built, so it changes, I guess, the diversity. But ultimately, the community feel is still there. I remember the carnivals when it used to be the carnival coming through with the floats through the town centre, and that was a real community feel. But going to the carnival now as it is, it still feels good. But for me, I used to love the floats coming through and that whole. I think it just felt a little bit more like you're more involved seeing those things. But I guess roads change and different things change with organisers.
Well, I guess I didn't really know Halesowen until I moved into the area. So I moved in about 6 or 7 years ago into Old Hill. And Halesowen was probably just a name, and I knew nothing about it. And so if you come into the area and you find a surprising kind of big town centre with all this kind of history and liveliness, and particularly today, it's massively lively today. So it was quite a surprise to find, this little pocket right in I guess somewhere between Birmingham and the Black Country. And when I moved into the area, then I joined the Halesowen Cycling Club. So I became part of Halesowen, I guess, which was something I wasn't expecting to do. But yeah, it's a great place, and I think it has its own feel, doesn't it? Halesowen, very different to Birmingham, and some of the places I've been to in Birmingham. But it's got that kind of vibe that you might see in somewhere like Moseley or King's Heath. It's a place, it's a destination.
I just find the people in general just seem to be friendlier. So when I been to other little town centres, people can be a bit miserable. No one likes to smile, but everyone seems to smile, if not speak to you. When I've got my little daughter with me, everyone wants to make conversation. So yeah, I just find it to be a really friendly town, welcoming, and I don't think I've got anything bad to say about it. It always seems to be clean and tidy, and always got everything that I need. I just find it to feel a nice place to come shopping. My mother-in-law, she loves to come here. She doesn't live in Halesowen, but she's saying to everyone all the time, now she goes to Halesowen. She doesn't go to West Bromwich, she doesn't go to Maryhill, she comes to Halesowen because you've got everything you need in this little centre. So, brilliant, basically. I can't think of much else to say.
Lively, fun, and proud.
Everyone knows everyone. It's going back to when I was young. It was more a village type of environment than a town like an Overspill from Birmingham. Everyone knew everyone, and you had the old co-op on the Starbridge Road. That's by the old Sammy. That's where I met the ex-wife, and when she came over, she couldn't believe that they would have a conversation rather than serve customers. That's just the way it was. And Halesowen in itself, it's been, to me, they killed it when they pulled it down and they modernised it back in the 60s. It's just destroyed the town, really. What was here? Everything's just all gone. And I think you find most Halesowen people say they've just killed the town in the way they've done all this with these new precincts. Keep the old faces up, yeah, modernise it at the back, but keep the faces up.
Well, I moved into my flat when it was brand new, which was 55 years ago in September. There was the cutest little market where the bus station is, and you could get absolutely everything. I think it was about 3 times a week, and it was quite an event. It was something to look forward to.
Everyone knew everybody else, and if someone had been in trouble with the police, they'd walk over the other side of the road. I wouldn't go and shake their hands like, oh, well done, you've been in trouble with the police. It was if you've been in trouble with the police, nobody spoke to you, or you was ostracised, so to speak. You never used to lock the doors. no need for that. Just everybody knew everybody. You was in and out your neighbour's house. Everybody was just friendly.
I mean, we used to walk to the Labour Club and walk back on a Saturday night. I can always remember our dad giving us a piece of beef, slicing it off and put it in the frying pan, bread, brown sauce, and that was our supper on a Saturday night when we went to thing. But you don't see it these days, you know, all the fats they tell you not to eat.
As we was growing, mainly when it was coming towards my teens, me and a few friends used to always come down, and there used to be a place called the Roundhouse in the precinct here. It was a cafe, a wine bar, restaurant, you name it. It's been everything. But when it was a cafe, me and my friends used to always come down on the dinner time or in the evening, have like a drink or a milkshake, and there was a pinball machine. We used to always play the pinball machines. And then right next door to that, you got an Indian curry restaurant. As I was growing up through the years, in more in my teens, we used to go to a dancing club on a Friday night called Tiffany's. And then when we used to come home, up till late, that restaurant used to, we always go back there, meet and have an Indian meal, curry and everything, called the Amina. Obviously it's moved up further, up Asbury now, but that was really good. And like Halesowen used to be a thriving town. I think it still can be a thriving town. But obviously, with the state of the country is now, shops are closing down and whatever. It will come back, but when, I don't know. But Halesowen has always been really good for it. And they're very friendly people around here. Very friendly people.
It's really nice. We've got all the amenities in the centre, quite close to the countryside. It's got a lovely greenbelt area. I'm a dog owner, so it's great for just doing walks and things. Previously, I lived in Bearwood. I think that's sort of seen a decline in recent years, and so coming to Halesowen, it just seemed I was moving into sort of Middle England, away from a more urban place. So it was nice.
Well, I see the people around here. I know quite a few of them, but now you find them all slowly passing away. So you're going to meet less and less. But I still enjoy coming down. Sometimes I just come down just to sit down and watch the world go by, which is quite good. I've got my wife and my mum and dad in the cemetery up the road, so that brings back memories. Bring back the memories of the church. When my daughter got married in there, and that's in how good the service was, and the people in the church were absolutely brilliant.
The community. Yeah. Halesowen seems to have a really warm community. People, will stop and talk to you in the street. People tend to have lived around here a long time. They stay in Halesowen. So, old people are the best people to talk to. They'll give you all the stories, tell you everything about where you live, who used to live there, all the secrets. It's good.
And if you can describe Halesowen.
My home. I was brought up here. I can't say whether I'll pass away from here, because I live just outside our house. I live in an area called Cradley. But I still have my heart here in Halesowen. I've had many years, brought up many years here. I've even worked down here. And even if I moved away, further away, my heart will still be here for Halesowen. I love Halesowen.
Oh, it's nice. You've got the community spirit. Most of the neighbours are pleasant, and as I say, you've got this wonderful shopping area which has got every shop you need, basically. Yeah, in general, it's a nice place to live, yeah.
Yeah, my first memories are back when it's got to be from 6. My first memories I can remember. I remember going to the old church school, walking myself. Like I said, it was a safer time to walk around. My mum used to work in the old market, what used to be underneath the shops. So I used to remember going in there, and for extra pocket money, a few stores down there was an old sweet shop, a lovely old man who run it. And I used to go and empty boxes for him. So I used to remember going out, first time I done, where do I take him? He goes, well, if you go out the back door, he says you're literally under the ground. And it had the old skylights in, so you can actually see people walking over the skylights and take the rubbish down. He used to come back, he used to give me £1 and help myself to the sweets. So it was brilliant. We had the old cafe that used to be in the middle. Well, it was more of a restaurant, the dome thing. And like I said, it was a beautiful time. You know, kids were kids more. You know, the parents didn't have to worry about it because outside where we lived, there was a park anyway, so I used to be out there all the time with my mates. My mum didn't worry because she could always see me anyway from the flat.
There is a sense of community here, especially because it's in the Black Country. That makes a big difference. Yeah, as you might have noticed, I haven't exactly got a local accent. I was born here, but I've lived in New Zealand twice, been around the world twice. I'm back here. What does that tell you? Really?
Well, when I first came here, which was about 50 years ago, it was a nice little place, quiet, sedate. Now it's full of life. There's so much going on. I didn't even know there was going to be the stalls today. I just popped down to do a little bit of shopping. And I've been here twice as long already as I expected. And I think they're doing a fantastic amount. The BID, they've got all these sitting places, they've got all the plants. They're organising so much, and it's come alive. It's come alive.
All that it needs really is a beach. The sea. But yes, it's quite a pleasant place to be. It really is.
Nice and friendly place. Plenty to do. Because I work in the Salvation Army. And I come from Collegate, you know, and that used to be a nice little village. Used to be butcher shops and everything, cake shops. Now he's gone dead now.
Some of the stalls have disappeared, the shops have disappeared, but others have come in their place. It's a place where you could meet people because there are places to sit now, which weren't there before. The square, the pedestrian area is fantastic for just walking up and down, looking at things. And so many of the people who are there regularly, like the flower man, and greet you like an old friend.
Used to be like the old market just up the top here. Nice and friendly, and used to be a gym up the top. Used to be off licences and everything. It's quite a nice place, and it's all changed. And pretty friendly. You get, them quite friendly. You get one or two I know, like, you have a chat to them. We'll have a coffee and whatnot. Then go and have a drinking with a spoon. It's quite a nice place to come.
And is there a good sense of community?
Yeah.
Well, you've got to start off with Bay Brummies. And the accent's obviously famous for. And also the industry that came from here. It was second to none at one time. I mean, when there was nothing that couldn't be made around here, or dug out the ground, or refined in any way. There was everything, So it's very important historically. You've done a lot for the British nation around here. I think very underappreciated too, and they need to drop the Samwell name. Oh, it's terrible. Where they got that from, it does not sum up the Black Country at all. It doesn't fit in. They need to lose that. They ought to call it the Black Country. But, I am a little biased because I was born over here, so, but, yeah, it's underestimated place. The people are, on the whole, nice people, and a good mix. Yeah,
I spend most of the time just sitting talking to people. And they, not necessarily about the charity or what we do, but just about what they've done in the week. And little Babs will come up and put some money in the bucket, and then they'll tell you that they've got. One sang happy birthday to her dad over the mic today, and her mum filmed it. There's just a certain atmosphere about Halesowen that is like an old community. I mean, I grew up at my Nana Paul's in Portway Road in Albury for 5 years, and it was a really insular community. I mean, that was it. Eel Street, Little Eel Street, bit of Portway Road, Churchbridge. So you had that massive communal feel that everybody knew everybody else, and you sort of get that here. It's a very, very special town, really. And I mean, I go all over the Black Country performing or doing projects and stuff like that, but there's not anywhere really as such.
I think Halesowen's a great place to live. I mean, it's got great heritage for a start. You know, goes back to 13th century with the Halesowen Abbey. Got the industrial revolution and the steel making heritage of the area, and now we've got challenges for the future, and we're in Halesowen town centre, which is doing really well, actually really bounced back well after the pandemic. It's a vibrant town centre. The Halesowen Business Improvement District that has organised a day today ahead of the Commonwealth Games is doing an incredibly good job in helping regenerate the centre, making it a location that people not only want to come and shop in the centre, but also come and socialise and do different things. So it becomes a destination. So I think Halesowen has got a great pedigree, great history, really wonderful place to live, but it's also got great potential for the future.
There's a lot of people from Halesowen and not Halesowen that come here because it's Halesowen, and I don't think that could be destroyed now. That, you know, that camaraderie really that you get. I mean, you go in a little cafe in the market, and they're from all over the place. Wednesbury, Tipton, Albury, Quinton. You know, they're not locals as such, although there are a lot of locals as well. They just it seems like a magnet for people from everywhere, really, which makes it lovely. It's sort of multicultural in a big sense, but also multi-communal, because they're from other communities and they've found something that might be missing. You know, that just might be me reading into it, really, but I've found that very strong relationship with it now. And if we finish all our charity work, you know, I'll still be coming anyway, because I made loads of real friends here, which is really important.
Yeah, so we moved here to Birmingham for university, and we're collecting keys for a new house in Halesowen, Cradley Heath, this afternoon.
We're very excited.
Yeah.
I love sort of all the sort of local high streets. They're all very friendly, inviting. So much better than sort of being inside the city, but you're still close enough to get there if you do need to get there.
Oh, everyone's really nice.
Yeah, friendly people.
Interesting buskers.
Definitely good buskers.
There are more people here from right around the planet. That applies elsewhere in the United Kingdom. But again, at the same time, the people are still the same. Still same friendly, likeable people. And that's what matters.
I guess friendly's got to be in there. So friendly would be one. I'd say busy. And I think happy. I think it's for me it's a happy place because obviously it brings a lot of memories when I come shopping here. My dad still lives in the town as well, so I think I have to go with happy. Especially when we'll go and watch the football team, and sometimes that makes you happy, sometimes probably not so happy. But yeah, from a kind of memories and everything else point of view, happy has to be in there.
To improve it, knock it down. Knock it down. Start from scratch. Don't spend any more money on it. Knock it down. Start from scratch. And the people that say pin pushers in the council, get rid of them. Get rid of them. Get somebody in that knows what they're doing or knows what they're talking about. Talk to the people. Ask the people what they want.
The town centre's got an awful lot busier since they gave free 2-hour parking. I think it doesn't matter what people do and what they say, they will never ever do away with the car. It's there to stay. Unless they bring out little flying saucers, I can't see that happening. So.
Warm, welcoming, and yam.
Heavens. It's very hard to remember. They've done such a lot to it. We had a really good vegetable store right on the top. I could walk through and down Peckingham Street, past Renson's, and as you walk past there, it's the most glorious smell of coffee and bacon, and they had butter in tubs, as it used to be donkeys years ago in my grandma's shop.
There is a community spirit. Things are being done in the town, which is quite nice. So, you know, I enjoy shopping here now. I haven't used to. It used to be a dredge, to be honest.
People will talk to you. I've been other places where you just walk past people and they look down. Here they'll chat to you and talk to you about all sorts. And the old dears like to tell you about their back history. They're lovely.
The town is calm, nice, good people. Community spirit is very close. The Halesowen bid do a lot for the town. And the community spirit in general is positive. I think in the town itself, personally, I don't see a lot of crime. I like it, lived here over 50 years. And yeah, just could do with, like a lot of town centres, a little bit more rejuvenation with the shops and the government getting on board, maybe helping out with taxes and rates. But yeah, positive. Well, the Black Country spirit, I know personally through my motorcycle rides and me back up with the local bikers, the spirit is, I don't think you could ever replicate this anywhere else in the country. The Black Country spirit is strong, and I think that's set us in good stead from the chain maker era, because predominantly we're chain makers. Halesowen was nails, and that type of spirit is firm, yeah.
Very nice.
Very nice.
You like it?
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
And we've always found it lovely around this area anyway, yeah.
Yes, we do like it.
What did I say? I can remember walking round when the high street was down the middle now, where it's a pedestrian way. It was just an high street and little shops. But the character was there. Everybody was about to talk, enjoy, have a laugh. And that, it's not like it is today. I think the world's speeded up. People are always racing to get in and out, in and out. But them days, you could talk to anybody. You can't do today.
At work throughout the week, the radio was going on about the dentist place being revamped. So, and I wanted to sign up to a new dentist because I don't trust many. But they seemed really nice. I spoke to all the staff. You know, tried to look good in front of them. Hopefully, I did.
You did.
But yeah. First time in Halesowen, but have you seen all the pretty tables?
The tables
Yeah.
are so cute. And like the little bench with the flowers.
I think they were done by the scouts, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did not.
Oh, it's a lovely town. As I say, I've lived here all my life, all 55 years. I managed to get as far as Collygate when I was engaged once, but that's as far as I've been. I've seen so many changes over, through the town over the years. All the new shops that are coming on. So I love the changes. I love how Halesowen is now in the last 3 or 4 years with the bid. So many new things, and Halesowen in Bloom is doing a fantastic job. So I like living in Halesowen now more, I think, than maybe 10, 20 years ago. Seeing all the fantastic changes.
Halesowen's a great place. It's thriving, a lot of history, and since the bid's been in place in the town, it's growing all the time. The managers we got for the bid at the moment, excellent. Them reaching out there, getting more people in, as we have down the town today. A lot of activities going on. Really good place.
I'm Jack Price's grandson, the marathon runner, the Olympic runner. His plaque is in the bottom of the town, and he's the gentleman that started the Halesowen Athletic Club. He also run the sports section at Stewart's and Lloyd's, and he got all the football and all the running and everything around there. He won the very first marathon that was run in England, and he was reported that he was in the bath before the next man got in. He run it from Coventry to the football ground, Albion. But he was built like a horse, and even during the war, when he fought in the war, they said he kept fit then, he was training then when he was in the war, and there was bombs going everywhere, and he was running up and down. But he's something that we should be proud of, to think what he achieved, and the athletic club is there, are still interested in it, It's part of our family, and it'll always be there. And so really, Halesowen should be proud of it.
Halesowen years ago, before the bid side, it still had the community spirit there, but it was dying back, if I can say that, to a point. And since the bid's come, it's thrived, and it is good. It's a great place.
Halesowen's, yeah, it's a lovely little town. I've lived locally all my life. I was born not far away on the Halesowen border. Moved down to here 40 years ago, and I love it. I worked just round the corner at Sandvik for 40 odd years, and yeah, it's lovely. It's a nice town. The church is beautiful. Shops are a bit ropey nowadays, but there's a few empty shops, but it's still a nice shopping centre, really.
It just means that many people know each other, and people tend to stay. And I will go somewhere just on a Saturday and walking through Halesowen, and I'll see people that I know from this group, from that group. So I think it means a lot to people to see all the new changes and to see a town looking so pretty. Just like I say with the Halesowen in Bloom, with the flower stalls and everything every year now, and we're winning so many awards. That's what I think it means, to have a nice town that you can be proud of, that's clean, that has things going for it, and that is pretty. And of course the church, fantastic old church. It's a shame that they ripped so many things down in the 60s. But there's still new things going on. It's lovely. It's a lovely town.
Exciting, lively, loving. Cheers.
It's just a change from Blackheath, where it's quite good shops, good breakfasts around here. The market's nice. The people are pretty decent on the whole. It's a good mix. Yeah, it's a nice place to have a trot around on a morning. Yeah, it's all right.
It's really nice.
Yeah,
really nice.
Yeah. It's always buzzing. There's always a vibrancy about it. So we like to come up here every weekend, pretty much, get a few bits in, and it's
Love the new seating area.
Yeah, and we're really impressed with all the new benches and things they've got on the high street. So it's really nice, friendly, warm place to come to. And we've never had any kind of aggro, any kind of problems when we've been here. And everyone is so friendly and kind. And
have a giggle in the shops, don't we?
Yeah. You like being called Bab?
All right, Bab.
Yeah, probably the type of people as well. The Black Country people are very, very, chatty, and they're friendly enough. So yeah. And so I say, it'd be nice if we had some more banks back here in that, but of course they're never going to come back, are they? The idea of some shops coming back into these places, it's not going to happen, is it?
The town centre. I think it's a nice, sweet little place. It's not too big, so it's not too crowded. It's not too busy, not overly busy that you can't breathe. Yes, and that's what I liked about it.
And fun, clean, and Boston.
Boston,
Not a lot. Halesowen, as far as we're concerned, this is what we've got. The precinct is what we've got. Outside of the precinct is all you've got is charity shops. Nothing against charity shops. Charity shops, estate agents. We've got nothing. If it wasn't for Asda, and we'd say Poundland and BM shop, there'd be nothing here. Nothing.
Basically, we've been sort of trying to move this way for about 2 years now. And yeah, everything was crossed, everyone was sort of rooting for us, and then finally happened on Friday last week. Got the keys at 10 to 5. Got there, fortunately they'd all packed ready and that, and then moved in.
So Halesowen's like a town you can walk in, and it's been my family for 19 years, and I lived there for the most of my life.
Very clean. It's not like where I was before, but yeah, it's very clean, very tidy. Everyone seems really friendly as well, which is always good. yeah, my first time sort of really walking through Halesowen, and yeah, honestly, it seems like a lovely place.
Halesowen is like a town, and it's a good town, and it's a beautiful place to live.
It's very, very friendly. All the people in the shops, even the staff, are friendly. And as you just walk about, I personally feel like I'm at the seaside. And I think if you feel somewhere that you feel like you're at the seaside, it's a good town. Yeah, really good town. Yeah. It's a lovely feeling of being included in your community. Yeah, that nice feeling. Yeah, which people need now because a lot of people have been lonely through lockdown. It's a feel better place. Do you know what I mean? People can come and, join in with people now. So I think Halesowen enhances people's lives, really. I think that anyway.
It is a mix, is my word that would come to. There are pockets of deprivation, I think, and then there are areas that are really quite leafy and really quite nice. So if I thought of Halesowen, I would think mixed, really, yeah.
I think people are more insular now, really, with the way things are, especially with COVID. But I think people are socialising now really a lot more with at the end of COVID, really. I like the attempts made by the I can't know what they're called, the group that over in Hobbs now. Their efforts. It's not refreshing to see attempts being made to regenerate the town. It's good.
It's a mix, isn't it? You've got lovely old buildings and buildings that they've tried to renovate. You've got a mix of that. Then you've got a mix of horrific concrete buildings. But then we came in past the leisure centre today and we said, gosh, doesn't that look so much better than it did? That was a concrete building. And although it's modern, actually it looks clean and inviting, and I think I'd want to go and play sport there. So that's good. So I'm going to go back to what I said at the beginning, which is it's a mix, old and new, nice and not so nice, really.
As I said, there was none of this. It was nearly all bare fields, there was none of this. From where the bottom is, up all the way up here and up the top, there was none. None of it. It was just come down. All right, there was more shops on the corner, then you got priests over the road, and them shops ain't there now. Then there was offices on the corner, and as I said, if some of the old ones go back, where's this? they wouldn't know it.
Yeah, and there is the community sort of. It's hard to explain, isn't it? But it does feel nice and friendly when you walk down the town. Everybody knows each other, and well, you either know each other or you nod at each other because you've seen each other before. Yeah, it's good. It's a good place to live. Recommend it to anybody.
It's really good, actually. It's very friendly, convenient, everything that you want here. So it's just a lovely place to come on a Saturday morning and have a wander around. If you need anything in the week. So it's just a lovely place to come on a Saturday morning and have a wander around. If you need anything in the week. It's easy to pop in and just pick up stuff. You've got Asda, you've got Wilco's, you've got lots of lovely little cafes. It's just a really pleasant place to be.
Right, it was all terraced houses and little streets and yards, and there was a couple of yards down here. I'm trying to remember the name of the yards, but I can't remember the name of yards. My mum and dad, well, Mum was born in Halesowen, in Grammar School Lane, and Dad lived over one of these shops when they moved up from Wales with his mum and dad. And yeah, I'm Halesowen born and bred, really. I think it's a great place. Everybody's nice and friendly.
Early memories. Yes, well, one of the earliest was I used to have to come down with my mum and dad to the Labour Club, which is now knocked down and going to part a little. We used to come down there regular every Saturday. And I remember walking around with mum and dad, getting the shopping, and our dad go in the trolleys, in the bags, and he'd say, right, that's it, I'm off. And he'd go up to the Labour Club. And us as children, we used to love going up. And then the women would come up later and meet us in the shopping, in the Labour Club.
Friendly, nothing that nobody wouldn't do for you. If you need anything, you just have to ask and they'll say, yeah, if you go here, or oh no, I can't help you, but so-and-so can help you. But yeah, on the whole, it's a friendly place. Just ordinary, friendly, working class people. So down to earth, that sort of thing.
Very nice place.
I'm not too sure because I don't really live in Halesowen, I just work in Halesowen, but I feel like there's a sense of community around here because, so where I work, for example, you don't get like a walk-in trade, if that makes sense. You typically returning customers, so there is a sense of community around here, but not that I live in Halesowen to know it properly, if that makes sense. Vibrant, old, but cool, yeah.
Yes, it was very interesting. The past few weeks, I've been browsing through the shops and high streets. I noticed something peculiar that I don't discover the other side of Birmingham. The tradition is still solid here. But unfortunately, the other side of Birmingham, you don't see it. It's like you are in Britain when you're here.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. Sense of you sort of feel like obviously we're new here, but you feel like lots of people know each other, and it is a friendly town. You've got the football team here, of course, as well, Halesowen Town. I've been to a couple of their games. Really big crowds for the level of non-league that they're at, and you sort of get that sense of community from something like that as well, which is quite important, I think, or feels important to the town, having that sort of club. Here too, that brings people together. So it's a really close-knit sort of place.
I find in Halesowen, people will put themselves out if they're walking the dog in the street or whatever, they'll stop and say hello. And if they see you again, they'll recognise you and say hello again. Whereas, as you say, other places around the Black Country, we've lost that community spirit, that community feel. And you feel like you just want to walk on by and get to your job or wherever you want to go and not acknowledge people around you.
Traditional England, in a way it was to a degree,
Still like it.
Yeah.
Still like it. I wouldn't move.
No.
I still like
No.
it. Oh, yes. And it is handy. I
Yes.
must admit. I mean, you can walk it. It's quite a walk. But there's several buses, you can catch buses as well, which is quite handy.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
we don't
we are.
drive, neither one of us
That's right.
drives.
So,
as I say, we
yes.
can get in here and just catch the bus,
In some parts of the Black Country, there's a bit of reticence about, sitting down and talking to somebody you don't know. Here, it doesn't seem to matter. You've only got to say hello and it's go, oh, you're all right, and what you here for and all that. So, which harps back to my childhood, and I suppose that's part of it, really. It sort of reminds you of what was and what could still be, if you worked hard enough at it. And that's down to the people and the people who look after Halesowen.
Black country people, they're just very friendly.
Friendly, of course
they
they
sort of
are.
go out of the way to help you.
Yes,
and, sort of look after you type of thing. They are nice.
Yes.
4, Boston place to be. That's 4, but 2 little ones.
Attractive, friendly and inviting.
Halesowen's quite historic, beautiful and friendly.